I am creating a YouTube channel to track my progress towards being more of a minimalist. I'm currently kind of messy. There's a lot of waste in my life. Money, time, like physical waste. Like I have a ton of recycling. You know, we produce way more trash than I want to produce. Money, time, resources. This is my attempt to be a more conscious consumer. I was a kid of the 90s. I was a collector. I had, Pokemon cards. I had Beanie Babies. I had Barbies. I had books. I had China dolls. I had all of these things that I absolutely didn't need, but I needed. And these habits followed me into adulthood. I used to spend a lot of time at thrift stores just buying stuff that's cute but useless, or clothes that are low quality that I'm never probably ever going to wear, and books, lots and lots of books. I actually own a little used bookstore that is basically an excuse to hoard things that I like. This YouTube channel is my attempt at becoming a minimalist, to not waste resources, especially time or money, because time is money. If I'm wasting money on stupid, pointless things that I don't need, that are actually causing me more unhappiness because I have to clean them and keep them and store them, then I'm wasting time, because I have to work for the money to purchase these things that aren't making me happy. I also spend money on things that I really don't need. I go out for coffee a lot, go out for drinks, alcohol. I also buy a lot of kombucha. I can make that stuff myself, and I intend to. That'll be a YouTube video for the future, is my attempt at making kombucha. Just a lot of things that are completely unnecessary to my survival and happiness, that are actually like bogging me down. I just want to waste as little as possible, and to make the most out of everything that I have, my time, my money, everything. I also want to make the world a better place, and there's this platitude of, if you want to change the world, first start with yourself, so here we are. Yeah. I've already started my journey. If you saw my apartment, you probably wouldn't think so, but I've already spent the entire summer throwing away bags, or recycling, or giving away tons and tons of things, and I still have tons and tons of things. I eventually want to live in a van at some point. I want to travel, I want to live out of a backpack, and I am trying to get to the point where I can detach myself from the things, have the experiences that I know that I'm deserving of. Let's see how this is going so far. Hello, my name is Mary, and it has been quite a few years since my last video. A lot has changed. It is currently July 2020, so we are 4 months into my first global pandemic. I no longer am the person that I was a few years ago. When I made the first video, I was feeling very stuck, and there was a lot of things about me that I wanted to change. And in the past few years, I feel like I've done a good job of progressing toward being the person that I wanted to become. Around the time that I recorded the video, I had a small used bookstore in a local co-op. In 2018, I closed that bookstore. It just wasn't working for me. People were donating tons and tons of books, and it was contributing to my hoarding problem. Basically, I just had a bunch of books that I had no time or ability to sort through and research, and I had flung myself into this project because I believed in entrepreneurship, and I knew that I wanted to become an entrepreneur. But I closed down Deadbeat Books, putting it on the shelf for a little while because I do want to bring the project back in a different capacity, in a more curated way. Putting away Deadbeat Books as a project allowed me to have space in my life to invest in my next venture, which is what I am currently doing and struggling with. I opened the Nook on Robinson with two of my good friends. It's a small craft beer bar / venue in Orlando, and we specialize in Florida local beverages. So we only buy from independently owned small businesses, and we work to try and promote them, perpetuating what I think is a good in the world, which is buying locally and buying from your small neighbor. And the bar was doing exceedingly well. The first year that we were open, we placed third in the Orlando Weekly's Best New Thing. We placed under two major corporations, which is amazing because we didn't have any kind of budget to promote people voting for us. It was just very grassroots, and we took third as Best New Thing in Orlando the first year we were open. The second year that we were open, we got nominated for Best Bar in Orlando. And this year, in 2020, we have nominations for Best Bar in Orlando, Best Craft Beer Bar, and Best Venue, which is super exciting, and still to be determined if we placed in any of those categories. But we were doing very, very, very well at the turn of the year. We were hitting our goals. We had a certain number of amount of money that we wanted in the bank before we could start giving ourselves a raise, along with a certain revenue. And we wanted to be debt-free. And we were debt-free. We worked really hard as individuals, making a lot of personal sacrifices to become a debt-free business and put money in the bank. And we were paying ourselves probably less than minimum wage, all told. And but we'd done it. We'd created a following. We'd created a community. We were a gathering place for artists to show off what they were doing. With so much original Orlando talent coming through, and people having a great time and drinking local products and just getting to get a real flavor of what Orlando has to offer. And then COVID hits. Our last day open in the capacity that we were operating was St. Patrick's Day. We threw a Patty's Pub party. We're all fans of Always Sunny, so we did that. And the past 4 months have been so incredibly difficult. But we are working to try to overcome the obstacles that 2020 has thrown at us. Florida specifically is currently the epicenter for coronavirus in the world, and a response to our massively surging cases was to shut down bars. Bars got shut down on St. Patrick's Day, and we were allowed to sell products to go, which we have done, and we are so grateful for the people that have supported us doing that. But it's not necessarily a sustainable business model for us. We charge less money, make less profit, and have less business as a result. And we were allowed to be open after 3 months of shutdown, 2 or 3 months of shutdown. We were allowed to reopen for 2 weeks as a bar. And as the result of people being irresponsible and not practicing social distancing, bars were shut down again. So now we've returned to a package store, and I'm at a place in my life right now where I don't necessarily know what my future looks like. For me, I'm very driven and goal-oriented, and when I know what I'm doing and what I want, I point myself off in that direction and I go. I'll work 16-hour days, I'll work 80-hour weeks, if it means that I get to see the fruits of my labor and see me inching closer and closer to my goal. But right now, everything is so up in the air. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how long shutdown's going to happen. I don't know how long the virus is going to make it dangerous to operate in the capacity that we were operating. We were a venue, so people are standing close to one another watching bands, and just kind of the nature of a small bar like the Nook. People are, pretty close to each other, shoulder to shoulder at the bar, and right now that's not a safe or ethical thing for us to do. And we don't know in the foreseeable future if it will become a safe and ethical thing for us to do. So right now, while I am pushing forward and trying to get cooler and cooler products and more limited releases for our package store, and trying to do videos and create better social media content in an effort to save my business, while I can do all of those things, there's still an element that is out of my control. There's only so long that we can operate at a loss before we've depleted our bank account that we worked so hard to save up. And without any kind of special assistance from the state, we're really the only industry that they've currently got shut down on lockdown. But there's no aid coming for us. 4 months of being barely operable is such a challenge, and I have no idea how long it's gonna last. So because of the nature of who I am and the way that I operate, needing goals and needing to see progress, I've kind of acknowledged that I can do only what I can do for my bar, and that the world will work itself out, and I may lose my baby and have to move on and into a different industry and try something new. But I have to let go of the things that I cannot control and focus on the things that I can. And one of the things that I've wanted to do for a long time is to actively pursue what it means to live a happy and fulfilled life while being a good citizen of this planet. So all of that was a very long-winded way to say that this is the intention of my channel, to focus some of that nervous energy into a pointed direction. I can't control what happens to my bar. I can't control how the virus manifests. I can't control government regulation, or anything like that, but I can control the choices that I make on a day-to-day basis. And this channel is intended to document those choices, to document my journey to determine what it means to live a happy and fulfilled life while still being a good citizen of the planet. There will be DIYs. There will be attempts at me trying to garden. There will be meal prep videos and my attempt at becoming less wasteful. And hopefully there will be interviews with people that I think are doing a good job in different aspects of what I've determined it means to be a good citizen of the planet. But I don't really exactly know what that means so far. I know that it means shopping local, supporting small business, using less fossil fuels, and just having a lower carbon footprint. But I intend to flesh all that out. So thank you for taking the time. This is my intro video, and I appreciate you watching.